Welcome all of you in online teaching learning process. We have started paper number first in organic chemistry, in which we have studied unit number second, chemical bonding and molecular structure with respect to ionic bonding. In last video we have seen the applications of Huggins rule. Now we will see second application, that is ionic character in covalent compounds. That is applications of Huggins rule. And second application, ionic character in covalent compounds. So in the case of ionic character in covalent compounds, a bond which is formed by mutual sharing of an electron pair between combining atoms in a molecule or ion is called covalent bond. That is, covalent bond is defined as equal sharing of electron pair between two atoms, and compound having this bond called covalent compound. It is indicated by small hyphen or dash, as like A dash B, which shows covalent bonding between A and B. Suppose electronegativity of A is represented by Xa and that of atom B is represented by Xb. On the basis of electronegativity difference Xa minus Xb, we can predict whether AB bond will be polar covalent or non-polar covalent or ionic bond. That is, three type of bonds will be available: polar covalent, non-polar covalent, or purely ionic bond. Then there are certain rules. Suppose electronegativity difference between atom A and B is equal to almost 0, then resultant covalent bond will be non-polar, that is non-polar covalent bond. That is a covalent bond between homonuclear diatomic molecule, that is hydrogen-hydrogen H2 molecule or fluorine-fluorine F2 molecule, which is a non-polar covalent bond. Here bonded electron density which is appears at the center of these two atoms, because both the atoms are same. On the basis of wave mechanics, we can say that shared electron pair spends equal time around both the atoms, as these atoms have same electronegativities. So distribution of electron pair is symmetrical one and does not develop any charge on any of the two atoms. That is, electronic difference between two atoms is almost 0. So these are non-polar covalent type of bond. So here two types of covalent bond, that is polar covalent bond and non-polar covalent bond. Already we have studied covalent bonding involves equal sharing of electron pairs between two atoms. But in the case of non-polar covalent bond, equal sharing of electron between two atoms takes place. So both the atoms have same attraction for shared pair, as like hydrogen-hydrogen H2 molecule. That is, electronic difference between these two atoms is almost or equal to 0. In case of polar non-polar covalent bonds, in some molecular compounds, the bonding electrons are shared equally between the atoms, as like example H2, N2, F2. The bonding electrons are shared equally between these two atoms, as like this diagram on. In non-polar covalent bond, bonding electrons are shared equally. In a non-polar covalent bond, the electron density is spread evenly between the two atoms in the bond. Then second rule, if electronegativity difference between atom A and B is relatively small one, then the bond formed between A and B is covalent type. It has some ionic character, so it is polar covalent bond and represented as partial delta negative and delta positive charge. Here, due to electronegativity difference of bonded atoms, shared electron pair shifts towards more electronegativity negative atom. On the basis of wave mechanics, we can say that bonded electron pair spends more time near atom A, that is, there is an unsymmetrical distribution of electron pair between A and B takes place, and which develops partial negative charge delta minus on more electronegativity atom A and partial positive charge delta plus on less electronegativity atom B, and this is the dipole molecules. Thus the formed polar covalent bond can be represented as delta minus and delta plus on atom A and atom B. So these are the dipole molecules, and this case arises when the electronegativity difference between atom A and B is very small one as compared to previous one, because in previous case electronegativity difference is almost zero, but here is some electronegativity difference arises, and these two or this type of compound shows dipole moments or dipole molecules. So in the case of polar covalent molecule, for example F2, which is a non-polar covalent, but HF is a polar covalent, and this is the diagrammatic representation of F2 and HF. In case of F2, equal distribution of electrons between two atoms, but in case of HF, fluorine is more electronegative as compared to hydrogen, so more electron density is attracted towards fluorine atom. So in this diagram, the only time a bond is completely non-polar is when identical elements are bonded together, as like H2F2. So in the above example, fluorine pulls harder on the electrons than the hydrogen in case of HF. So the fluorine end of the molecule has more electron density than the hydrogen end. So fluorine is delta minus while hydrogen is delta plus 1, and this type of compounds, that is polar covalent molecules. And then third rule is, if electronegativity difference between atom A and B is very large one, then there is complete transfer of an electron from atom B to atom A. Hence resultant bond between A and B is purely ionic one, and it can be represented by B plus and A minus, that is a charge carriers. So from all above rules, three rules, we can conclude that is polar covalent bond is intermediate between pure covalent bond and pure ionic bond. So polar bond shows dipole moment. So this is the conclusion of ionic character in covalent compounds. Then we will clarify these rules or ionic character in covalent compounds with some diagrammatic representations. So in case of ionic character is the difference of electron negativity that exists between two atoms in a compound. Then the ionic character is used to classify the type of bonding and can be thought of as a measurement of a tug of war on the electrons by the atoms. So there is a war occurs to attract the electron towards itself. So in the case of increasing ionic character, that is first case non-polar covalent bond, then we have discussed the polar covalent bond, and lastly we have discussed the ionic bond. So in the case of bond polarity, with greater electronic difference, the electron density is pulled onto the more electronegative atom of the two atoms, forming the molecule. So there are three cases: non-polar covalent as like F2 molecule, polar covalent as like HF molecule, and purely ionic as like lithium fluoride molecule. And this is the diagrammatic representation for simplification. Then the relation between electronegativity and bond polarity. The greater the difference in electronegativity between two atoms, then the more polar the bond will be formed. So for example, in F2 molecule, electron difference is almost 0, so this is a non-polar covalent bond. In case of HF, electron difference between two atoms is 1.9, so this is a polar covalent. But in lithium fluoride, electron difference is almost higher, 3.0, so it is a purely ionic compound. And this is the diagrammatic representation of these three molecules. So this is the chemical bond exists along a continuum as like non-polar covalent bond, polar covalent bond and ionic bond, with the increasing their electronegativity difference. Then next parameter we will see, that is what is dipole moment. So in the case of dipole moment, we know that polar covalent compound A and B molecule behave as a dipole, as it has two poles which could be represented as A delta minus and delta plus charge. Suppose electronegativity of atom A is more than atom B, so A carries negative charge, B carries positive charge. So here molecule AB is a neutral one, hence magnitude of delta minus is equal to that of delta plus. If these two charges are separated by definite distance called bond length L, and Q is a charge, positive or negative, then dipole moment mu of AB molecule can be calculated as mu is equal to charge into their bond length, Q into L. This is the equation of dipole moment. Thus the dipole moment is the mathematical product of the magnitude of the electrostatic charge and distance between ends of the dipoles. So this is the about the dipole moment. Then the magnitude of dipole moment depends upon electronegativity difference of bonded atoms. Then greater the value of dipole moment, greater will be magnitude of ionic character associated with the molecule. Then we will see some examples. So dipole moment means the multiplication of the Q into R, that is R means distance between these two atoms and Q means separated charges. For example, in HCl, H carries delta plus charge, Cl carries delta minus charge, so it have a dipole moment. So dipole moment has a magnitude and a direction, so this is a vectorial quantity. So in case of dipole moment and polarity, a polar bond has separate center of positive and negative charge. A molecule with separate centers of positive and negative charge is a polar molecule. So the dipole moment of a molecule is nothing but the product of magnitude of the charge Q and distance d or L between the two atoms, and the unit of dipole moment is dB. It is represented by capital D. So there are examples of dipole moment. For example, in case of HF, the dipole moment is very small because bond length is very small one, 92 picometer. But in case of HCl, bond length is greater, then dipole moment is also larger. In HBr, 141 picometer distance, so this one is also larger. And last one, HI has largest dipole moment because the distance between H and I atoms is very high. Then last one is a bond moment. Then what is bond moment? Bond moment is the dipole moment of each individual bond in a molecule. So the bond formed between two atoms having different electronegativities is called polar covalent bond. It has some kind of dipole moment. The dipole moment associated with a bond is called its bond moment. So the dipole moment of diatomic molecule depends on electronegativity difference between bonded atoms. So increase in electronegativity difference increases dipole moment. Suppose in a polar diatomic molecule, bond moment is the dipole moment of a molecule. For example, in the case of HBr, HBr bond is a polar one. Its bond moment is 0.8 dB, hence its dipole moment will be 0.8 dB1. So we will see further some examples. In case of molecules containing more than 2 atoms, that is polyatomic molecule, dipole moment depends on spatial arrangement of various bonds in a molecule. The dipole moments are vectorial quantities, as we have discussed in previous slide. Thus these quantities can be added. This property is used to decide the dipole moment of such molecule. Here note that polar and non-polar nature of molecule depends upon spatial arrangement of atoms in a molecule. Thus the bonds may be polar but molecule may be non-polar, which for that purpose we will see some examples. For example, in case of CO2 and water, both the triatomic atoms molecules, but dipole moment of CO2 is 0, while that of water is 1.84 dB. This can be explained on the basis of arrangement of atoms surrounding the central atom. So first example, very important one. In case of carbon dioxide CO2, both CO bond are polar one, but a molecule is linear geometry, so dipoles are symmetrical one. Hence dipole moments of different bonds are here oriented in opposite direction and get cancelled by each other. The dipole moment of CO2 becomes 0. So this is the diagram of carbon dioxide, both having dipole moments, each bond CO, but they are cancelled to each other due to the linear geometry, and overall dipole moment of CO2 is 0, 1. But in case of water, that is, there are two OH bonds which are having 104.5 degree angle. So in the case of water, the dipole moment is 1.84 dB. So this is the bond moment and resultant moment is positive 1. But in case of CO2, dipole moment is cancelled and it is a 0, 1. So CO2 is a non-polar one because the molecule is symmetrical and there are no unshared electrons on the central atom. So here water having some dipole moment, that is 1.84 dB. Similarly, in the case of another example, for example in BH3 and NH3. In case of BH3, the dipole moments in case of BH3 is 0, 1, because in BH3, that is 3 BH bonds which are inclined at 120 degree in a plane, and it has symmetrical structure as like this. So dipole moment is cancelled and it shows 0 dipole moment. But in case of NH3, there are 3 NH bonds, and due to the one lone pair on nitrogen atom, here 2 nitrogen contains lone pair, and due to the presence of lone pair, this is the lone pairs, 2 lone pairs, and due to the presence of lone pairs, here it has pyramidal structure, hence net dipole moment of ammonia is equal to 1.49 dB. So this is a either symmetrical one, but due to lone pair it shows some dipole moment. So in case of BH3 and NH3, BH3 shows 0 dipole moment, but NH3 due to lone pair it shows dipole moment. So this is the examples, and another example is also we have studied water 1.84 dB, CO2 0. In case of BF3 it is also 0, 1. In case of CH4 molecule symmetrical one, it is almost 0. In BF3 it is 0, and in NH3 due to lone pair it shows dipole moment. This is the further explanation about the CH4 and CH3. In case of CH4 has symmetrical tetrahedral structure, so its dipole moment is 0, 1. But in case of CHCl3, which is have unsymmetrical tetrahedral structure, so the dipole moment of CH and CCl bonds are not equal 1, so it has some dipole moment, that is 1.49 dB. So thus it is possible to say that overall heteronuclear diatomic molecule dipole moment of a molecule increases with increase in electronic difference between two atoms which are bonded to each other. So overall dipole moment of a polyatomic molecule depends on their structure, that is geometry. If their structure is symmetrical, then their dipole moment will be almost 0. The molecule having asymmetric structure have some value of dipole moment. So this is about the applications of Poisson's rule. So thank you all of you for listening this video.